Hello everyone, this is Ethan with SDMetal. We are outside of Soma right now with Adam of Lorna Shore.
How's it going?
Good. How are you today, Adam?
Good.
Well, you guys just played, so first off, great set. So that was
thank you.
Definitely.
San Diego's always sick, so we like playing here. So
yeah,
excited
absolutely.
to come back and play here again. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. So, since I don't know much about the band,
cool.
Unfortunately,
that's fine.
So sorry for the fans out there. I failed on my research part, but so Lorna Shore. What is the why is that name?
Oh,
exactly?
Why is that name? Okay, so our old guitar player came up with that name, so that was just a pre-existing thing, and we just kind of had the name for a while. And when he kind of left, we were considering changing it, but then we were like, I don't know, like some people kind of know who we are, and it really wasn't that many people. But at that point in time, for the size, we were like, oh, so many people know who we are, but no one did. So we just kind of like let's roll with keeping the name, and then we just one thing led to another, and it's like too late now. So that's kind of how it kind of. It's not my first choice of a name, but I mean.
Was there like a specific meaning behind it?
It's basically there's a band called Gwen Stacy, right? And it's a girl from Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
So my old guitar player didn't like Spider-Man. He was a Batman fan, and he just Wikipedia'd Batman. And then there's a girl named Lorna Shore. She was like a museum curator.
Oh,
it was only only in 3 panels, and was like, oh, it's a cool concept, similar. But it doesn't really sound like a girl's name. It just sounds just like whatever. And I like hearing the interesting stories that people make up about what our band name means. So. So just simply just a girl that dated Batman. Not even dated Batman, went on one date.
Like in a comic.
Yeah, legitimately one comic. So that was really about it, and we just kind of went with it, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, that's really about it, pretty much.
Nice, man. So, I mean, of course, you guys have been on the road with Carnifex before.
Yes.
This is
our 3rd tour with them.
3rd tour.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, of course, Lorna Shore is on this tour with Carnifex. You're going to be all over the states. You know, this is only day 2, so by the time this is up, there's still plenty to check them out. Are there any big plans after this tour, or have you not thought that?
Well, we're trying to figure out something for the summer. Trying to figure out stuff for the fall now. I mean, our album comes out in 2 weeks, February 17th, so we're just trying to promote that album as much as possible. So as of right now, there's nothing set in stone, but we're really looking to be on the road as much as possible now that we have an album coming out. So that's our plan, at least from my perspective. That's the best thing I can kind of give. So,
gotcha. Speaking of that, of course, like you said, new album is February 17th.
Yes.
Titled
Flesh Coffin.
Flesh Coffin.
Yes.
Okay. So, with the album Flesh Coffin, did you take any new drastic steps with it, or is it something Lorna Shore fans are going to be excited and familiar with?
I think everything that we've ever written is it's just a continuation of the last thing that we wrote, and just kind of getting better at that sound. And I think that for people who like the band, I think it still has all the elements of the band, but I think just done in a more mature and more thought process way, whereas in the past it's just kind of been just rambling ideas together and putting them in a song, where this we really thought cognitively about the parts and the ideas and the songs, and just kind of put it better in a better package, rather than just kind of just randomly just putting ideas on the table. Okay, this is a song. Okay, that's a song, and there's no thought process to it. Where this is just basically just more thought out version of the band. I think this is our most mature sounding album. So I think for people who've already listened to the band, I think you're going to get everything that you previously liked about the band. And I think there also might be some stuff on the table that people who maybe don't like the band might be turned on to. So that's at least my plan, at least.
Nice. That's awesome. That's definitely awesome to hear that. As for Lorna Shore, of course, you guys have done a lot of different tours and stuff like that, and a lot of big names in the industry, of course, like Carnifex. Is there any bands let's limit it to maybe 3 bands you would love to play a show with or be on the road with?
One would definitely be Behemoth. Behemoth's a band.
Cool.
Behemoth and Dimmu Borgir is 2 bands I would love to tour with, just because I feel like their live stage presence and live performance is really awesome, and so even just to be able to just watch that every night would be cool. Regardless if people like this or not, it'd be cool to just watch that band. So those are definitely 2 bands for sure. That would make sense. I mean, I know everyone does a cliche Metallica and everything else like that, and who wouldn't want to? But I mean, a realistic approach, those 2 bands, and probably I don't know. I really can't think about who else. I mean, we've toured with Black Dahlia, we've played shows at Whitechapel, we've done all these other bigger bands that would make sense for us. So I would like to continue doing more of that stuff, but bands that we like seem like it's out of reach is definitely those two bands for sure, at least from my end.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A band like Necrophagus, who probably will never come out again, would be awesome too.
That would be
It's
cool.
like that's my favorite band. But those are probably the three bands. If I could mention anyone, those are probably the three bands I would absolutely love to just like play shows with and tour with and whatnot. So
yeah, it's also something just to, I think, yeah, like you said, just to witness that on the road,
exactly.
And then also just and play to a different crowd, I think too.
Yeah, that's another thing that we would like to. I mean, nothing against the bands that I previously mentioned, but it's just like, it's cool to play. Sometimes we were like apprehensive of playing to a new crowd because how it doesn't go over well to some people, but it's also just cool to, I don't know, put yourself in a different audience and different mindset. So it'd be awesome to be like completely in a different world, in a different realm, and
absolutely.
Yeah. So those are the three bands I would absolutely love to play with because those are probably my three biggest influences for this band. So it'd be awesome to like kind of see that live every night. So
nice, yeah. So speaking of influences, you kind of talked about these bands being a huge influence.
Yes.
What was your original influence to pick up guitar?
I don't even know. I picked up guitar because I wanted to be in a band, and my friends were putting a band together. They needed a guitar player. My other kid had a guitar, and I was just like, I just want to be in a band. And then like that's just kind of where it went to. And then I just got more into the music or more into guitar side of things, not just music. And I don't know, like I just like the more modern day like metal bands that are coming out at that point in time. Like all the metalcore bands like As I Lay Dying, like It Dies Today, like Bleeding Through, all those like really pinnacle like metalcore bands are coming out like early 2000s. And then I went backwards. Like everyone kind of started from like the Guitar Heroes and like worked forward. I like made my way to the Guitar Heroes, like like Randy Rhoads and like Eddie Van Halen, and then I went further into like Yngwie Malmsteen and like Jason Becker and Paul Gilbert, and then just like keep delving further and deeper and like peeling the onion back to like find more and more guitar players I like. And I just work backwards, I think. Whereas everyone kind of works forward. Like they start from like Metallica, and then just like
they dig deeper and find stuff.
I just like started deeper, and then kind of like.
And then you worked backwards.
Yeah, I went into the past. It's pretty much
started at the core.
yeah, pretty much where it was. And then just like from that point, I got into like more like death metal bands, like I said, Necrophagus and like the Faceless and like Spawn of Possession, Obscure, like all the tech death like European bands. I got really big into that, and yeah, that's just kind of. And then now it's just like an endless thing of just finding interest in guitar and just trying to find influence in whatever I can. So yeah, it's a never-ending cycle though. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you probably just. Everything's an influence.
I try to not like. I used to limit myself. Like I would just only like the stuff that I would like and not be open to other things. But now it's just I try to find other, even avenues of music aside from guitar that I'm interested in. So like that's just kind of that's my goal at least. Try to be more open-minded and finding influence in whatever I can listen to.
For sure, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Apart from music, I usually like asking this, but like if, say for example, someone saw you off the road and you're just not touring or anything like that, what hobbies do you normally do, or what's your normal interest outside of just playing guitar?
Video games and like a lot of nerdier like subcultures. So video games like comics is a really big thing for me.
Yeah, from the name, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of ironic, but that just kind of fell into that. But yeah, just like a lot of that stuff, kind of like more stuff like that. I don't know. I work out, so that's kind of cool too. So I don't know. I try to live like a normal, like everyday person life when I'm home. I don't think I'm like doing anything crazy. Right. I'm not breaking the mold, like doing some like crazy, like experiment in my
going
basement.
Extreme ironing.
I'm not doing anything really, really crazy. I'm just like being a normal, everyday like person. So
of course,
that's just my hobbies though. Just
yeah, and of course, from my nerdy side, I have to ask, what games are you playing currently?
I just got Skyrim Remastered because I felt like playing that all over again, and that's been taking up a lot of my time because you just realize how long you can just spend in dungeons. So I've been doing that, but like it's kind of hard. Games like that, it's kind of hard because you play it and then you go on the road and you come back and you're like, where the fuck am I? What have I been doing? And like, where am I at?
So true.
So I usually do a lot of like stuff like that. I like a lot of like RPG games. Like I was playing like Bloodborne. I like that a lot. I did Destiny for a while because I like first-person shooters and I like big open world as well. I've been a big first-person shooter fan. I'm excited for Mass Effect, so I'm excited to play that when that comes out. And I mean, it's hard to get caught up on video games because like a lot of games always come out on the road, and then there's like a bunch of them all come out at once, and then you're like, come home, you're like, what do I play? And then
you just have a pile, and you're like, wait,
and then all of a sudden on top of like band stuff that's related to that, and then just like it's kind of hard. But I try to like keep up with like playing video games as I can because it's a good break for me. It's a good break from like music all the time. So
that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
It's more. it's more of a different creative avenue to maybe draw influence from too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do, and it's cool to explore the spatial galaxy and be able to go from planet to planet and then see how that can perpetuate some sort of influence. I don't force it, I just kind of, it's cool to just have that vibe, and for me, it's just cool to just take a break from just grabbing my guitar and like writing riffs or playing guitar and whatever. So to just kind of just relax and sit back and just smoke pot and play video games, it's way better than just like focusing on what you're trying to do. So
for sure, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, thank you again for taking this time out.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so guys, Lorna Shore's new album comes out next month, Flesh Coffin. Make sure to check that out and check them out while they're still on the road with Carnifex and Despised Icon, Rings of Saturn. It's a killer tour, so make sure to come check it out. This is Ethan with SDMetal signing out.
Thank you. Hell yeah.